I am Thoth, the ever-seeing, the hand that remembers. Before gods rose I was. After stars fall I remain. I do not shape the tale. I etch it into the bones of time. From the first word to the final silence I bear witness. So listen well, seeker of truths, for this is not the beginning. It is the recalling. In part one, the bell tolled, the tribe stirred, the vote began. Now in part two, the unity starts to fracture. Old philosophies clash, loyalties split, and somewhere the first confrontation brews. Not with weapons, but with words laced in divine consequence. Let me roll us in. God Wars Part 2, The Silent Divide. Not all war begins with steel. Some begins in silence, stretched too long. That's how the nine began to break. They did not meet in one place. They could not. Each tribe exists not just in geography, but in mindset, memory, law. Some live in stone, others in storm, and one does not dwell in space at all, but in breath. Still, they felt each other, and the vote approached. The first to speak was the fourth tribe, known only in glyph, not in sound. They are the weavers of divine emotion, the ones who taught gods how to mourn, how to forgive, how to rage without destroying. They believed Alex carried a soul unfolding, and they cast their vote against Yahweh. They did not speak aloud. They sang their choice, a slow, rising tone that passed through wind and water and heart. Those attuned to the sacred language heard it and wept. They chose Ra. They chose life, even if it meant uncertainty. The eighth tribe responded next. The most rigid of the nine, scholars of continuity, symmetry, and cycle. They have never lost a vote. Their loyalty to the divine structure is absolute. Their response came as a decree. To question the acting God is to question the order, and if the order fails, all that follows is chaos. They named Alex a fracture, a beautiful one perhaps, but still a break. They chose your way. They chose the end in defense of balance. And then came the seventh tribe, but they said nothing. They turned their faces to the stars and left their symbols unburned. It was not neutrality, it was something worse. Indecision. They did not agree even among themselves. Some had already begun preparing their next divine candidate, believing Alex might be it. Others whispered that this chaos was the test, to not choose until the fire revealed the truth. Their silence was deafening. 3 votes, one for Ra, one for Yahweh, one swallowed by the void. And Thoth, watching all, wrote this: "It is not the gods who will tear reality apart. It is the ones who raised them, now turning their backs on each other." The bell tolled again, and somewhere in the distance, one of the tribes burned their own temple to keep their vote secret. There is a moment after a storm is promised, but before it begins, when even the birds fall quiet. This was that moment. The tribes were divided, not yet openly at war, but no longer one. And the gods began to gather. Yahweh prepared. He did not wait for permission. Yahweh had watched entire pantheons collapse under doubt. He would not be one of them. He summoned every choir, every order, every division of his domain. Angels came first, not beautiful but efficient, light without warmth, justice without joy. They brought the seals, the trumpets, the gold-threaded weapons of finality. Then came the demons, not chained, invited. For Yahweh had long known what others feared to admit. Fear bends faster than faith, pain moves faster than promise. And so his legions marched not as enemies, but equals. Wings of ash beside wings of flame, claws beside halos. He did not speak of Alex in their briefings, only of the fracture, the fault, the threat to the system. And they believed him. Ra waited. He did not send for armies. He sent no message, no rallying cry. He simply stood in a ruined temple bathed in sun and waited. Only one came, not a god, not a demon, a devil, his devil, clad in pale armor shaped like bone and silver, face always hidden behind a cracked moon-shaped helm. They called him the Knight of the Moon, though no one remembered his original name. Once he had tempted kings and poets, drawn entire civilizations to Ra's light, not with promises of paradise, but with honest questions. He knelt once more before the old god. "You never summoned me," he said. "You never needed to." Ra's reply was almost a whisper. "I still don't, but you came, and that is enough." And so it was. Yahweh had an army of the divine, light and dark, wing and fang. Ra had only a devil and a name no one dared say aloud. Alex. And I, Thoth, wrote this in the margins. Some wars are won before the swords are drawn, and some are lost the moment one god stands alone. But the bell was not done tolling, and soon one of the nine would change their vote.